The humblest people in the world. He's the executive producer, and it was his vision that made this possible. He's probably the poorest person in this room, and he's the one that financed this movie. He got the grant. He got a grant from the European Commission to make a film about his country, and rather than squander it like I would have probably done if I got that money, he said, I wanted to make a movie to impact the world. So I want to thank him personally and all the people in Rwanda for making this happen. Like he said, we shot this in a mosque, and this is why the film was able to be shot in 16 days with no money, because I think there was faith all over this project. I'm not a Muslim, I'm not African, but this is the most important award we've received because it focuses on the message of the film as opposed to the art. And I know the art is being acknowledged, but we made this for Muslims. When he called me, he said, I want to show a positive portrayal of Islam. That was the mandate, that was the objective, and I said, absolutely, and that's why I flew to Rwanda. So MPAC is the pinnacle of our awards journey. I'd like to thank Ramsey, I'd like to thank Sue, I'd like to thank all of the donors and the sponsors for bringing us here. Ishmael is visiting from Rwanda, and just to be able to share this, you guys are amazing. Your hearts, I can feel your hearts. I absolutely can, and I love that. But my heart is a little bit heavy coming here today. I came from New Jersey, and I live in my mom's basement in New Jersey. I claim New York so I can sound cool, but my mother's basement is home base, so I can save money. And when I'm in New Jersey, I take walks on my riding breaks. And Thursday night, I took a walk, came in the house at about 1 a.m. Around 4 a.m., a man was killed on my block. And the body was laying out there. He was a Latino man who was waiting to go to work at 4:30 in the morning. And turns out that they robbed him. I don't know what he could have had at that early in the morning. And I was flying here last night, and I couldn't write. I couldn't focus, because as much as I am a filmmaker, I am an activist. And Dr. King said, when injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And I'm talking about a Latino man in a room full of Muslims about a film about Rwandan genocide that's set in Africa. How does that matter? It matters because my work is about giving a face and a voice to the voiceless. My work is not about politics or statistics, it's about what really needs to happen. Unfortunately, when you're a part of a minority group, which I hate that word, the actions of a few becomes the actions of an entire group. And you're not allowed the ability to be a father, to be a son, to be an uncle, to be a brother, to be all those things that we actually are. And that's unfortunate. So we are terrorists, we are this, we are that, and we are nothing. We're not human beings. Rwanda was about humanizing Africans. And unfortunately, and as a teacher, I have to give this lesson as well, we are all complicit in that. All of us. We take in the same media, whether we like it or not, and we see people. African Americans can be faceless to us and nameless to us because we heard their actions into an entire group. And I have had negative experiences with Muslims in my life, and particularly prior to September 11th. When I came back from Africa, I was in Africa. I came back, and Muslims were so nice to me for the first time in my life. It was amazing. And conversely, African Americans have such a negative perception of Muslims. The same perception they often have because they watch the same media, the same television shows, and they see you as terrorists as well. And Muslims, going back to 1001 Arabian Nights in literature, Arab Muslims have a negative portrayal often of African Muslims. It's a reality. So we are all complicit in that. So as I stand here, I don't point the finger, not at the Hutus and the Tutsis, not at Africans or Muslims. I look at those 3 fingers pointing back at myself and finding out what my weaknesses and what my prejudices are and how can I change that? How can we do the work to fix that? I want to thank MPAC for giving Muslims faces and names. I would like to thank TLC. I would like to thank Dr. Shua for giving people literally names, faces, and stories. And I'd like to close by letting you know that the man who was killed in my neighborhood, his name was Manuel Moscoso. He was the father of 5, a Christian, a church-going man. I don't know who he is, but he, like everyone in this room and everyone in this world, deserves that name and that face. Thank you.